definition of success? Well, if there is 7 billion people on this earth or more, there is 7 billion or more definitions of success. You can call it mastery, you can call it creativity, you can call it achievement, you can call it happiness. There's so many different ways that every person on this planet actually identifies their success differently. One person's success can never be identical to another person's success. We want to go after something similar that we see, and that is because we really want the predictability. So it reminds me of Elizabeth Gilbert, who is the author of a famous book, Eat, Pray, Love. And after 6 years of continuous rejection from the publishers, she actually identified that it was probably time for her to go home. The way she explains that going home for her meant not moving back with her parents. It actually meant that she wanted to go back to writing. She explains that when creativity actually survives its own failure, that's what success is. And that's her definition of success. And she identified that the passion that she had for writing was more than the ego, more than any other failure or fear of failure that she had. So we know definitions of success depends on each person. Each individual will have their own explanation of what they want to achieve if they want to be successful. And sometimes what happens is we end up inheriting definitions from the need of predictability. When our need of predictability is greater than creativity, that's when we actually adapt to the definitions that we see around us, or definitions that are told to us by other people. For instance, if you are a doctor's son or a daughter, then you are more likely to have an inclination towards becoming a doctor. Same thing goes for a lawyer. A lawyer wants that if he has succeeded, if he has seen passion in what he does, then he would want his kids to become lawyers, or the best lawyers, better than him. So when our need for predictability is greater than our creativity, that's when we inherit definitions from people around us. If you want to look at success as a bell curve, imagine on the bell curve, you see in the center, we have nominal achievers. These are the achievers who actually have need for predictability greater than creativity. They want to see a foreseeable future. They want to know what the future holds for them. We go to colleges, we go to school because we know there is a high predictability of finding that job, finding a good means of making a living, and maybe that would be the definition of success. And hence we go after that predictability factor. But when we identify that our creativity actually has taken over the need for predictability in our lives, that's when we actually start to move towards the right side of the curve, or the higher side, the high achiever side of the curve. High achievers look at creativity as something they really want in life, more than the predictability factor. More than the future they want to make for themselves, they go after what they're really passionate about. A painter who actually understands mastery and sees his passion in making great paintings will obviously go for something that he wants to do, no matter how much money he can or cannot make out of it. And then, well, we do have the low side of the bell curve where low achievers are waiting. Or they probably just want to sit there for the rest of their lives, because that's what the definition of success for them is. They understand that the position they are in, they are probably satisfied. If they're content, then that is it. That is probably where they want to be for the rest of their lives. And if you want to have a predictable future, you will definitely be in the nominal achievers. You will be in the center of that bell curve. And high achievers obviously be on the other side. They go for something more passionate. They go for things they know are their core competencies. They do understand that their purpose of life, their meaning of life, is to actually go do what they have been created to do, what they're meant to do. And that's why they go after the creativity side and be on the high side of the achievers. So no matter what your definition of success is, you can make your home anywhere you want, but you can still choose to find yourself wherever you want on that bell curve based on the choices that you make. You could be a nominal achiever, you could be a low achiever, you could be the high achiever. The society looks at the high achievers as the only success stories. Each one in the entire bell curve has their own definitions of success. For them, it might not be the high achievers who are the success stories that they want to be. They probably want to be in the nominal achievers, or they want to be in the low achievers if they just feel more comfortable and they have accepted the fact that their need for predictability is higher than any other creativity that they can think of, they can imagine themselves doing. It reminds me of a great poem, and it says that success is in doing what you do well, and doing well what you do, without the expectation of fame and fortune. If you get it, it is because you deserved it, not because it was sought after. Your definition of success can be different from mine or another person in another part of the world. They cannot be identical because we are all in different circumstances, because we all have different choices we made. We might be in a different position, different time in life, in a different location in life. So our definitions cannot be identical. Remember, in finding excellence, there is no absolute.